Hey there, everybody. Music Scene Investigation is on the air. Rich Wildman here. A lot of things going on today, and it's going to be an interesting day because we're getting some freezing rain where I'm at, and that's never a good thing. Let me get rid of that bottom title there and tell you what's going on today. Today is our annual award show. This is where we're going to recognize the Artist of the Year as selected by you, our audience, and our Panelist of the Year also selected by you, the audience. And we'll do that as we go throughout the broadcast today. We're going to take a listen to some of the music that made it into the voting session of the Artist of the Year. In fact, we'll listen to the top three vote getters of that. And we'll also make a couple of award presentations as we go on throughout the day. So hope you hang around with us. Hope you have a good time. We certainly enjoy doing all of this throughout the year, including today, even though it's very stressful because not only the weather, but everything that's going on here today. It's just a lot going on. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Let's go
We have
over.
about a dozen people on today, right, Rich?
We have about 2 dozen people, actually, and they're all surprises, so I can't tell you who any of them are, other than to introduce you to Ian Husbands, who is across the pond. Ian, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm all dressed up in my top hat and hoodie for the award show today.
Isn't there a song, Bring Me Out My Top Hat? No, I don't.
Putting on my hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could work. Yeah, it could work.
you should write that, and you get Paul McCartney to sing it, I think.
Yeah, he might not
No,
be happy
put
with.
it to one of the Fred Astaire videos.
I don't think Paul McCartney is too happy with me at the moment. Anyway,
No, I don't think he is either. The fact of the matter is, I think you kind of pissed off Paul McCartney after your last video. I mean, if you haven't seen that video, it's in the chat room floating around there. It's also on YouTube, and you should probably take a look at it because it's quite funny, I think.
yeah, check out the meat free remix by 8 Month Malfunction versus Paul McCartney. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there is no
Rap
doubt about
greatest
that.
battle.
Now we have a lot going on today, Ian. We're going to be taking and talking about our panelist of the year. We're going to take and introduce the winner of our artist of the year as well.
Yes, we have.
And we
All
all,
very exciting stuff.
yeah, it is exciting actually. I mean, these guys and gals work long and hard to get their music here and get it in front of the panel, and the recognition we give them obviously is very well deserved.
And what celebrities have we got to present these this year, then, Rich?
Actually, Nicki Minaj turned us down.
I'm glad.
Well, Miley Cyrus turned us down.
I'm glad.
But she did send her tongue.
She did do that, yeah. And David
Some squirk on air.
David Hasselhoff said maybe, but then his people got back to us and said he mistook us for someone he gave a damn about.
Ah, okay. You said the Hoff would be cool. Let's get the Hoff on the show. He's got a really good musical career behind him, thankfully. And he knows a lot about music, allegedly. And he drove a really cool computerized car, so makes him cool by default.
Yeah, he's popular in Germany, I hear. And speaking of being popular in Germany, we've got a great friend of the show. In fact, he is and always will be a member of MSI, regardless of whether he wants to or not, is Mr. Tom Chianti, who is also here today. Hey, Tommy, how are you, my friend?
Well, put the gun down. I said I'd do it. Put the gun down. Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing? Everything going okay? Now, I heard you guys got a lot of snow in New York, first of all. Is that true?
That would be upper and outer. From you see, the reason I picked to move to Queens, and it's a very precipitous location because it's only in a small tunnel of Queens, where you get the cold and you get only a light snow. We haven't gotten any of the major snow. or wind or whatever. But that's not fair. We're about music, not about weather.
Yeah, well, that's very true, and I'm glad you're doing fine up there. I mean, it is winter after all, and everybody cries about the snow and stuff like that. I just tell them get over it, grow up a little bit, and it's all fine.
Well, with the wind, we did reach minus 15 a couple of days.
And you don't look any worse for wear.
Well, that's because I stay indoors.
It's a good thing. Now, I understand also that there at the Cube, you have a lot of equipment that's getting ready to come into the studios there.
Well, we're trying to go cutting edge, and right now I have a new Mac Pro, Apogee's, Symphony, and all sorts of goodies to bring us up to, well, the studio won't be world class, but the gear will be. Now, and I just haven't been able to get around to reinstall it. It's just been crazy.
Now, I understand it gets crazy this time of the year, especially just after the holidays. Everything gets, spun up again, and everybody's busy doing things. Now, before we get to our awards, I want to talk to both you and Ian about this past year. Now, Tommy, you were with us on the panel up through August of last year, and you actually went through and listened to the vast majority of those that were nominated for our Artist of the Year slot. You actually hung out and talked to and were on the panel with the vast majority of the panelists that are up for Panelist of the Year as well. So what are your thoughts over the past year of the music that you heard and things that went on the broadcast?
Well, if I remember correctly, I think, is this the first year we've had the listeners pick? Or, because I remember it way, way back in the Stone Age, you, Ian, and I would go through the tumultuous and long list of songs and pick what we thought were the best.
The first year that MSI was on air, the nominations were picked by yourself, Ian, and I. And then every year since then, we've done the hit list where the winners of the hit list are automatically the nominees for the Artist of the Year. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and one thing I noticed, and one thing I'm very happy to say, is after I left, I felt very sad, but then I was very happy because you had to bring in two people to take my place because I'm schizophrenic.
That's very true. Very true. Multiple personality disorder is hard to fill the shoes of.
But all kidding aside, both Angie and James are excellent. They both bring, different directions and considerations to the MSI, and I couldn't think of better people. Well, I probably could, but I won't. No. I've been watching the show on and off when I can, and it's gotten better since I left. All right, shoot me now.
Well, we're glad you admit that, Tommy, and thank you. Now, Ian, same question to you. You've been around for all of the artists and their music who's came through, and the panelists who sat on the panel. Your thoughts over the past year?
Again, my thing is really the improvement in the quality of music that we see constantly happening on MSI. When the show was really set up, 4 years ago now, we didn't plan on having the quality and levels of music. We were expecting the bedroom musicians and people like that, but we've got some quality bands coming through the door now. There's some really good artists.
Absolutely top notch. I have to agree with you, Ian. These people are damn serious.
I think Tom will agree with me. For the first couple of years, our job was quite easy because there was a real load of stuff to get your teeth into and talk about. But as the music gets better, it gets harder and harder to find things to sort of be critical upon, constructively critical upon. And, we're just getting a lot of good music through the doors at the moment. And, some of the hit lists that we've had have been really hard shows.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. I remember a couple of them we had to throw to the audience.
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, there were a couple of those. And regarding the panelists that we've seen over the past year, I know we've had award winners. We've had actual out on the road musicians. We haven't had any who are on the road as we did the show, but we've had them that, have flown out of country next day and things along those lines. We've had gear manufacturers, we've had radio people, we've had producers, you name it, I think, Ian. Isn't that right?
We've had all sorts, especially across the years, from sort of management and PR and all sorts of people. And, we're constantly looking to expand that as well, which is a good thing. But, it's very hard for me to sort of say who is the best guest. To start with, a lot of the guests are personal friends. Wouldn't want to go there myself, so it's nice that the audience are making the decision. They all bring something different, from people like Mark Landamsky, who runs a radio station, through to people like Paul Miro, who is a songwriter and producer in his own right, through to sort of Tom Oswald, who runs a record label. Everyone's got a different perspective and is looking at different parts of the music. And that's what I really like about the whole situation, and the fact that they come from all walks of life. We've got, Ian Blackwood over in Canada, and we've got Paul over here in England, and we've got people from America, and we've had people from Australia in the past, so it's all really cool from that point of view.
And I know my personal favorite. I really love John Schroeder.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that, Tommy. John is a great guy to have on. Fountain of knowledge, as they say. Wouldn't you agree with that,
It's just that he's been in it so long and he's still current.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true. Thoughts on that, Ian?
What, on John?
Yeah, on John.
What can I say? I mean, John has become a very good friend to me. And, I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect for his stories and his opinions on music. And it's kind of nice to be involved with him now because, John comes from a very sort of 30 years ago, he was doing this production and stuff like that for Samandi, and a lot has changed in that time. And I can kind of act as a bridge for him in some circumstances, sort of, helping him out with, just bits of knowledge that he doesn't quite get his head around with the new digital ways of working. And we have some great conversations, and, John's a very, very clever man.
I happen to agree with you. Now, I have to tell everybody out in the audience, we talk about John because we like him. He is not, unfortunately, the artist or the panelist of the year a winner. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, John. Hate to break that bubble to you, but we do have a panelist of the year. We want to make that award right now, as a matter of fact, and I want to let everybody know that this was a very, very close vote. In fact, it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Initially, the voting started in the middle of November. I thought Mark Lamdansky was going to run away with it, but he did not. He was overcome about midway through the race by a couple of contenders who kept it close throughout the rest. Susie Chase ran up the polls very quickly in the latter part of the voting, and unfortunately, though, she did not win. Sorry, Susie.
Nah,
it
sorry.
wasn't your day.
I liked her tactics, though. She held back, she paced herself, and then she went for that mad sprint at the end.
She did, really. I was surprised. It was really a good run by Susie. The winner, however, is a gentleman that I've known for quite some time online. Haven't had the opportunity to meet him in person. I hope someday to do that and make that happen very soon. And this guy is owns a sound studio, a record recording studio down near Nashville, Tennessee. He's a heck of a guy, and if you get the opportunity to talk to him, you can learn a lot from him. We want to congratulate our panelist of the year, Mr. Brett Campbell. Brett, congratulations to you on being elected or selected as panelist of the year.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, it was a tough competition. You had a lot of people to go up against, and you pulled it out, man.
Don't ask me how. You're reading down through some of the great guests that have been on over the past year, and I don't know how that really happened, other than there were a handful of people out there that got wind of it, and made it happen for me, and I had a great time talking with Mark Lamdansky. We goofed off several times talking about is that it, Ian? Beautiful.
That is the award. Yes, sir.
That's not going to pay for the yacht that I just promised all these people that I was going to melt down the golden microphone. And
it's heavier than it looks.
Okay. Maybe it'll cover it.
I'm having to support my other arm with my and lean on my knee. It's just, it's weighing me down, man.
Tommy, what was that?
I was going to ask Brett how much cold cash it cost him.
Not a whole lot, but quite a few favors.
So, Brett, let me ask you this. I know that you just recently moved over toward the Nashville direction. It wasn't that long ago when you were located somewhat east and south of Nashville, if I remember correctly. How are things treating you in the new location?
Oh, pretty good. We're enjoying it. It's really a big city living compared to what we're used to. There's a highway in front of the house, and a neighbor across the street, store down there at the corner, and I don't know. I'm getting used to that. So far, so good. Pretty much enjoying it. Small Barn Sound is a lot smaller than it used to be. It took me a little while to get the room worked out, but I'm pretty happy with it now, and we've got a lot of options for what we can do with the more isolation too. So that's pretty cool.
That is good.
Yeah,
that
Brett,
was the second
you and I are
question.
going to have to talk because I can never seem to get my studio up and running for more than 2 weeks a year.
If you ever do, just don't touch anything, Tom.
Just
don't touch it.
And therein lies the problem. You're talking to Tommy and Rich, who likes to touch things a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And I was just going to ask Brett,
Rich, but leave me alone. It's December, and as you know, I tear my whole studio apart and go through the whole thing in December. So I'm busy for the month.
Yeah, that's the way it works. What can I say? Besides that, Brett, you have 1 year to reign as panelist of the year on MSI. So what do you plan on doing during that reign? You have anything special planned, like I don't know, maybe a trip to Disney World or the Grammys or something like that, just to show off your trophy to everyone?
Well, first, for all the major contributors on the GoFundMe campaign that managed to buy me the votes to get elected, we're going to do that cruise down to Jamaica, and we might go down to see the last iceberg too. And then when we come back, we're going to make some serious changes to the independent music business as a whole, and I'm not sure what those are going to be yet, but they're going to be serious changes, and everybody's going to like them.
Or else.
Or else, right. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll get with
believe me, I've had a taste of or else.
We're just going to have a good time.
How do you feel it's going to change your life being voted as a guest of the year on such a prestigious program, Brett?
I'm really hoping that this is going to help me to finally get in shape and lose some of this unwanted weight, because I've just been feeling so bloated lately. Yeah, it's a good word, I guess. Ever since Christmas, and I've been on the chocolate and cake and pie binge. You know how I get.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's really going to help me focus that way, Ian.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, we obviously want to positively help people in the independent music business, and obviously by offering you this award, we do hope it goes on to change your life.
Choose life, Brett. Choose life.
Yes, of course.
In all seriousness, I want to congratulate you on this, and I do want to let you know that I think that our voters and, of course, us here at Music Scene Investigation know what a boon it is to have you involved in independent music and supporting independent musicians, and congratulations on the award.
Well, Rich, for anybody to think that I'm helpful in the music business or in entertainment business in any way whatsoever, that's an honor just to be thought of that way. And like I said a minute ago, Mark and I had a lot of fun. And one of the things that we talked about was that the way the numbers jumped back and forth and rose quickly through this thing, it showed that all of the people involved were respected and had a good support base of people out there doing things for them. And it just made us both feel absolutely fantastic to know that so many people cared, enough to go take a minute out of their day and figure out a CAPTCHA on a website. That's one of the most annoying things you can ask anybody to do. And so many people did that. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and I got to let everybody know the CAPTCHA that Brett mentions it was annoying. CAPTCHAs are annoying. I'm one of the first guys to admit that. Unfortunately, after last year's fiasco, we had to put that in place. Ian, you remember the fiasco from last year where we had literally both sides accusing the other of voter fraud, and everybody and their dog was doing it, and we had to put an end to it this year, which is why we put the CAPTCHA up, right, Ian?
And it's worked very, very well. Tommy couldn't fit all the figures this year at all.
Well,
no, but did you see the CNN report about what happened last year?
Yeah, well, the train wreck wasn't anybody's fault. I promise you that. Now, Brett, before we let you go, in all seriousness, what do you have planned for the coming year, 2015, having just begun? You have anything special going on?
Just in the latter part of the year, Middle Tennessee Music launched or relaunched Mid-10 Listens, and we changed it around a little bit.
So tell me about it.
Shout out to Hangout Records. Thanks for the coffee mug. And we've taken a new format and got this review show thing we're doing. We use Zoom to bring in up to 25 people, and we put up a panel of 5 people from the industry, and then a, quote, studio audience of everybody that's left within the Zoom call. And we listen to up to 5 songs that are submitted for the show for review, give our honest opinions on exactly what we think of them on first listen. And some of it's pretty hilarious. A lot of it's been really great. It took off bigger than we could have expected. And so for this year, we're moving forward with it. We're hoping to make that better than ever before. And we're bringing in a lot of special episodes at the end of January. The last show we'll record in January, which will air in February, will be dedicated to hip-hop. We're going to do one in February with musicians that we find over on Tom Oswald's Videscape video platform. And in March, we've got one coming up for dedicated to hardcore and screamo metal music, which, if you know me, that's my favorite. We're going to bring in special panels of people that really understand those particular genres when we get into the genre, specific shows, and hopefully be able to do some good. We've had a lot of great feedback from it. Everybody involved has been blown away, sent lots of thanks. It's been just really cool. So looking forward to rolling with that. And Josh has been partnering Middle Tennessee Music up with Unlimited Sounds in California and MPC Recording Company. So we now got a record label and publishing company with us that we can help certain peoples with, and that's been a lot of fun to get rolling too.
All right, well, great. Well, we wish you the best of luck with that, obviously. And again, congratulations on being selected Panelist of the Year by everybody out there who listens to and watches the program. So congratulations to you, Brett, and we hope to have you back on our panel very soon, sir.
Anytime. Thanks. It's an honor.
All right. Thank you, Brett. And Tommy, obviously, we wish you the best of luck, as always, with the Cube. And we look forward also to you coming back and joining us on the broadcast as well.
I would, of course, be honored and very pleasured. But next time, don't send the guy with the darts and the gun.
Yeah,
okay?
I promise. I promise we won't do that next time. We'll just send the dogs over like we usually do, and they can take it from there. So thank you, Tommy.
And goodbye to everybody. Of course, I will be back. They can't get rid of me. We're tethered at the hip. But
Absolutely.
It's a long tether, considering where it's got to go.
Absolutely. All right, Tommy, thank you. And what we're going to do now, Ian, is play one of the actual nominees, the top 3 nominees in the vote getting for our Artist of the Year as we count down to that announcement. So without further ado, I'm going to start out this by playing the third top vote getter for Artist of the Year. And this is going to be Rick Brendel with his track that we love so much called It Is What It Is. This is the number 3 vote getter on the MSI Award Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, everybody. Hang on.
Woke up today feeling blue. Oh, it is what it is. I felt I had to try something new. Oh, it is what it is. Grabbed my keys and made a dash. Oh, it is what it is. Didn't get far 'cause I had no gas, no. Oh, it is what it is. Stopped by the local branch of my bank. Oh, it is what it is. Took out a loan to fill my tank. Oh, it is what it is. Tried to shake off my frustration. Oh, it is what it is. 'Cause my girl is causing me inflation. Oh, it is what it is. I don't know where I'm headed to. It'll be somewhere away from you. I had a call from my employer. Oh, it is what it is. I thought it might be paranoia. Oh, it is what it is. He said don't come to work today. Whoa, it is what it is. We'll mail to you last week's pay. Oh, it is what it is. I had a call from my physician. Oh, it is what it is. Found the cause of my double vision. Oh, it is what it is. Gonna need to get you in right away. Oh, it is what it is. Fell to my knees and I began to pray. Oh, it is what it is. I don't know where I'm headed to as I find myself in quite a stew. Woo! And it gets worse. It gives out. You know my cat, he tried to scratch me. Oh, it is what it is. I ran so fast that it could not catch me. Oh, it is what it is. I can't believe my dog turned and bit me. Oh, it is what it is. All at once it began to hit me. Oh, it is what it is. I had a text message from my lady. Oh, it is what it is. I know you're gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, it is what it is. I knew just what that message read. Oh, it is what it is. I'm leaving home with your best friend Ted. Oh, it is what it is. I don't know where I'm headed to, but my life has turned into quite a zoo. Da 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 da. Oh, it is what it is. Da 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 da. Oh, it is what it is. Da 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 da. Oh, it is what it is. Da 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 da. Oh, it is what it is. Da 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 da.
All right, that's Mr. Rick Brendel, his track called It Is What It Is. That's number 3 in the vote count for Artist of the Year. And I'm going to take the opportunity right now to bring all the panelists in. We have them all online with us. I have Ian, Andrea Bensmiller, James Anderson. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm so happy to see you after the new year.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As you guys know, I didn't win anything today, but I was really happy to be named one of Tommy's personalities.
Tommy's, yeah, you and James are both part of the whole person. We actually took Tommy to a surgeon, and never mind. Anyway, it's a long story from here.
How scary would that be?
I know, it'd be horrible, wouldn't it? I mean, really...
I guess I need to ask him which personality I am.
That's a good question. I really don't know. I
think we should put the vote out to the listeners.
That could get a bit nasty, to be honest. They're quite a vindictive lot, that mob out there.
Indeed.
All right, now I want to take the opportunity to formally welcome you guys both to the MSI family and on the panelists, permanent panelists. I know we haven't had much of an opportunity to do that yet this year, so I wanted to take that this little bit of time to let everybody out in the audience learn a little bit more about you before we make the announcement over to our Song of the Year. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to start out ladies first and ask Andrea to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background in music, and how all that came together for you and where you're at today. So,
let's see. Well, I have been playing and singing since I was a teeny kid, and then I decided to go off to this very little known music school called Berklee College of Music in the late 80s, and spent a lot of time in Boston, graduated from Berklee, went back home to LA, and roughed around in the big music scene there, trying to get signed for most of the 1990s, and did a little bit of film and television composition, built a small project studio, recorded some records with a band that I built with a good friend of mine, and have found myself somehow landing in Vegas. And I'm a professional player here. I teach a lot most of the time now, but I've been doing the Vegas stages now for since 2008. And yeah, it's been a really fun ride in music. I think I've been a lot of places on this journey, and it's you learn a lot, you get roughed up. The best part about, I guess, getting older and making some money at it and being able to kind of put your feet up a little bit is you get to do what we do here, and that's share all of that information with other musicians who are struggling so hard to get somewhere in the industry. So I love being here. MSI is a great team of people. I love what it does, and it's so necessary for us to pass on this information and this passion that we have for indie music and to keep indie musicians alive.
And I think you're absolutely correct, and we're very happy to have you join us, Andrea. So thank you so much.
And I'd just like to say that Tommy has declared that James is his welding half, and Andrea is his inner child.
That makes sense.
Aww.
That makes sense, I think. I'm not sure, but if Tommy says it makes sense, it makes sense. All right, James, over to you, my friend. Let's find out a little bit about you, what your involvement in the music business has been, and what you're up to.
Well, hello and Happy New Year. It's great to be back on the show and fabulous to be part of the MSI team. Going into my background a little, I'm relatively young still. I'm approaching my 30th year, but I have been in the music industry slash music industry for as long as I can remember. No, not really. I've been in it since my late teens. I started out doing a little bit of work experience for Sony and as an engineer, and I thought, wow, this is for me. So that meant that I dropped out halfway through my A-levels and then went to music college and did that for about 5 years and graduated with a first-class honours degree in music production, and then hit the real world of trying to find jobs in engineering, being knocked back, getting something, getting knocked back, and eventually finding my feet as a producer in the voiceover industry after a few years of recording bands and finding out how unreliable musicians can be. So it's quite nice being in voiceover with voice actors and creative types that are actually reliable and turn up. But my journey is constantly evolving, and I'm hoping to be able to retrain a little so that I can install studios as well. So I'm currently doing an electrical course. So that's effectively a very quick sample of my background up until now.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, James. Now, before we talk about the music and involvement in MSI you guys have been involved with, I want to let everybody out in the audience take a quick listen to our second place.
Hang about.
Yes, Ian?
What about me?
Everybody knows about you, dude.
Yeah, Ian should have been nominated.
I don't get nominated. I don't get talked about.
No.
Ian's always getting slighted.
Ian, you got 30 seconds. Go.
No, I don't want to now.
I think Ian should get the Steampunk Award.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If we had a steampunk award, Ian would get it. There's no doubt in my mind about that at all.
Next year, I'm going to make one just so I can be nominated for something.
Okay, you make the award, and we will put up the nomination list for you. Right now, however, I want to play our second place vote getter on the MSI award voting for Artist of the Year. And this is a song by Phono Emergency Tool called Floating So Fast. So here that is by Phono Emergency Tool. Enjoy. Song number 2, everybody. Phono Emergency Tool, Floats So Fast. Floating So Fast. My fault there, folks. I said Phono. Okay, Phono Emergency Tool, Floating So Fast.
You can
There you have it. Phono emergency tool floating so fast. I said it right that time, I think. Is that right, Ian? Did a phono emergency tool floating so fast, right?
I can see where you made the mistake.
Say it three times fast. Yeah,
floating.
say it 3 times fast.
3 times fast.
No, that's not what I meant, but you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, never mind. It's just the way it is. I want to talk about the music we've heard over the last year. We've heard a lot of music, actually. What is it? 150, 171 songs over the last year have gone in front of our panel. Ian, what are your thoughts on what you've heard over the last year? I know we heard a little bit from you about it earlier in the program, but let's expand on it. What do you think?
Not much more to say, really, Rich. I mean, the music quality has been fantastic this year. We've heard some great songs from a lot of different genres. And, people are really upping their game out there. You can see why the indie scene is so alive with new music. It's just, people need to start making it into a business now.
Yeah, well, there is that. And, we're going to try and do that as well and see how it works.
Right for me.
You're not eligible for anything right now, Ian.
Ian, didn't you learn anything from Brett? You have to have a PAC, and you're going to have to start raising some money.
Yep, crowdfunding.
You gotta get in the game.
I think maybe I'll set it up as a charity.
I don't know if charity would do it, but hey, it's all worth a shot as far as I'm concerned. Andrea, Ian, what do you guys think of the songs, the music that you guys have heard over the past year? There's been a lot of it going on, some good, some bad. What do you think, Andrea?
Well, I remember the first time I was a guest panelist, and, I don't remember when it was exactly, but I remember thinking, well, there's some good stuff, but there's some stuff that really, really needs some work and was really kind of basically at demo quality. And man, that has changed so much. I mean, almost every track that we hear now looks or sounds exactly like it should if you're releasing an independent record. So much more attention to the details of what making a professional recording really is all about. So I think people have come a long way, and maybe that it's either a good thing because musicians have gotten smarter and better at what we do, or it's partially a bad thing because it's our response to this kind of flailing industry. But either way, I think it's really changing the future of music for sure.
All right. And James, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, I think it's been an exponential improvement in the quality of stuff that's been received on MSI. I can remember the first couple of times I was on, and there's some pretty appalling stuff mixed with some really amazing stuff. But now it seems far more consistent, just like Andrea and Ian have said. The quality of stuff that's coming through is really improving. But there's always stuff that we can constructively deconstruct and criticize. So there's always a benefit to having MSI as a platform. Nothing's perfect, and it's always nice to be able to add pointers to their production techniques and musical composition techniques as well. So.
All right. Well, I definitely agree with you. I think there's always a reason to have people around from the industry who are willing to go out and say what's great about a piece of music that they hear. And
it just makes our job harder.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So,
maybe this is no coincidence. Think about it, right?
Are you saying that people are listening?
The show yes.
You're saying that people are listening to you, Ian, is what you're saying.
Us as a whole, us as the royal we here, maybe in the 4 years that MSI has been broadcasting and we've been doing this, people are actually tuning in, going, do you know what, them boys have got a point, and taking it away and making their tunes better. I mean, it's all improved over the course of 4 years since we've been broadcasting. It would make sense.
I think you've got a point, Ian, because if they're brave enough to send their tune in, surely they're going to look at a few past episodes to see how much we moan and bitch about some of the tracks. So they've got to be pretty brave to send it in the first place, and then maybe they've made a few tweaks and adjustments based on some of the stuff we've said in the past.
Now, somebody out in the chat room, looks like Box of Crap, is saying in the chat room, the quality of tunes and mixes, etc., has gone from low octane to almost jet fuel at times. Anybody have any thoughts on what Boxo says out there? You got it right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that's what we're all saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like his metaphor.
Low octane to jet fuel. Yeah, that works. That works. And Brett says he's got to agree about better music. The stuff we get at Mid Tennessee has gotten to be of very high quality. Yeah, and it goes to show you that musicians out there are utilizing the tools that are being made available to them. Not only digital audio workstations that are made available, but the resources out there on the net that are widely available on YouTube and other platforms that tell people and talk to people about different aspects of music production and things along those lines have got to help more than hurt. Is that fair case to say?
That's true, and the software's become so much more refined now. When I was starting out with digital stuff, it was far more basic. There were only a couple of platforms that were really good, and now most digital workstations are really quite amazing, and there's very little difference between them. You can make a good track on something that's freeware effectively now, whereas in the past you used to have to spend an awful lot of money to get decent results.
Yeah, I remember when I was first looking at doing a lot of recording and stuff like that, it was, not a whole lot going on. And then Pro Tools was the big thing to go to, but Pro Tools was way out of reach of, anybody of my caliber and means at that time. So, yeah, I mean, it's just come a long way.
Yeah, I remember the excitement when Pro Tools brought out some kind of light edition that you could use with M-Audio software, hardware even, and it just made the whole thing accessible to more people.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely. Andrea, when you started out recording, doing stuff on your own, you said you had a studio setup that you guys put together. What did you start out using as your recording platform, I guess?
The very first machine we ever got that fell in the digital realm, we had a Fostex 8-track for a long time, and just did whatever we could with that. And then the very first machine we got was a VS 1680, which was that, first model of freestanding, completely separate hardware-based hard disk recorders, and they were great for the time. They were all new. They were seriously expensive. I mean, I made some incredible credit card damage happen during the 90s. We were serious. We wanted to be taken seriously. We worked really hard. And so, we invested and that was a really difficult machine to work with and to learn how to use. But, things got better. And then about 2001, we invested in a very high-end Mac system at the time. That was a G4, a 1.25 dually. And we had started on Motu products years ago at Berkeley. And so me and my band partner at the time were very comfortable with that platform. So we used Digital Performer. We used all of the Motu boxes, the I/O boxes, which at the time ran about $1,800 to buy a basic 8-input box. So, it was exciting. It was challenging. Digital's come so far.
Yeah.
In such a short period of time. When I look back at what we used then and what you can use now. It's amazing. It really is. There are some real positive things about it. There are maybe some small downsides to it, but I think overall it's been a great thing for indie artists.
I would have to agree with that. And Ian, how about you? What were the first tools that you were able to grab a hold of and utilize at the beginning and start of your career?
My first was a Fostex 4-track cassette studio. So it was like a tape cassette that you put in, you had like 4 tracks, and basically you only had 3 tracks because you had to bounce all the 3 tracks onto the 4th track and keep bouncing down to build the track up as you went through, and you had no effects on it or anything like that. It was just a sort of microphone in, a cheap microphone that I'd sort of borrowed from my dad's, he got free with the stereo that he'd bought or something like that. And that was my first. We wrote demoed a lot of songs like that with acoustic guitars and bongos and bits and pieces, like my first band. And then I went up to a G3, the old, it wasn't even a Mac, it was one of the, what were they called? Power computing computers. It was an old G3 sort of power PC. It was a Power PC, yeah. When Apple sold all their licenses off, and I had a hooky copy of Cubase and a hooky copy of Reason on it, and sort of created very primitive recordings using them. I found that very difficult to start with. And it wasn't until I sort of went up and got an iMac that GarageBand became available, and I sort of went back into that and then through to Logic. So, but the Fostex, I've got a lot of fond memories of, because we done one song called A Coffee Shop in Richmond with a friend of mine, Navy, and we recorded it all at the wrong speed. So, but when we played it all back,
didn't we all do that?
it sounded like this sort of really old black sort of soul singer, sort of male rather than female, because it was my friend Nady who was singing, sort of really crooning their way through this track. And I must find a copy of it because it was absolutely genius.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. And who knows, maybe we'll hear from musicians in the coming year who have used some of these recording platforms and various techniques. You never know. I mean, it's entirely possible. But I don't think that our Artist of the Year used any of those techniques or actual platforms to record their song that we're going to hear right now, because I want to take the opportunity, before we end the show, I want to introduce to everybody who our Artist of the Year is, make this announcement. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today. I don't know why, but...
You didn't invite them, Rich.
I thought somebody else was going to invite them.
It's meant to be a surprise. How could it be a surprise if we invite them on the show?
That's a good point. We wouldn't have surprised anybody, would we have? Because they will tell their friends, and their friends will tell their friends, and so on, and so on. And never mind.
A bit like Brett did. Brett ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, he told everybody ahead of time. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, our Artist of the Year won, again, I mentioned this earlier, by more than 60%. It had more than 60% of the vote. Their song, Free Fall, was by far the most popular song in the vote. Artist of the Year is Miss Brittany Bexton. So congratulations to Brittany and her song, Free Fall, on being voted Artist of the Year, a music scene investigation. We're going to play that for you right now. This is our Artist of the Year, Brittany Bexton, with her track, Free Fall. Enjoy it, everybody. We'll be right back in just a minute to close things out. Here's Brittany Bexton.
Peeled out the driveway, gravel and sparks were flying like a light about to light a fuse. Sped off to the middle of nowhere with the thrill of getting somewhere. Finally stopped and we're moving faster, losing myself in you. Caught up in a rush, heart speeds up every time that we touch. So high, so alive, lost in the
That's Brittany Bexton with her track Free Fall, our song and artist of the year. Congratulations to Brittany and her band.
Hey.
I'm sure she's got a band out there. I'd love to talk with the people who played with her on that track to find out how everything was done and put together. I think that would be a fascinating conversation. And obviously, we want to invite Brittany at some point. We want to get in touch with you, Brittany, to, number one, be able to send you the luxuriously beautiful trophy that Ian is holding at the camera right now, and also to discuss with you about coming on the MSI broadcast as a guest panelist and some other things we have planned as well. So we'd like to talk with you. So we'll be getting in touch with Brittany and getting her award to her as well. As Brett Campbell, we had him on. He's our panelist of the year on the Music Scene Investigation. We're so proud of each and every one of them. And, of course, everybody who sends music in to go before our panel, we're proud of you as well for taking the opportunity. And in some cases, the very bold jump ahead into doing so. So congratulations to you for making that choice. We certainly hope you continue to do it throughout the rest of the year. Anybody have anything to say in closing, Ian, Andrea, James, before we wrap things up today?
Well, personally, it's 2015. It's a new year. There's been lots of new music. I'd like to officially welcome James and Andrew on board as well, even though they've been working with us for the past 3 months. Thank you very much, guys. And, you know, let's hope that we can sort of take this to another level. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Absolutely would. Absolutely. Andrea, James?
Yeah, it should be a good year ahead. I'm hoping to hear plenty of good music like the last 3 months. And hopefully we'll forge a new listener base and increase figures and get more of a presence out there. I'm looking forward to having a good year of presenting.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. There's no doubt about that. Andrea, over to you. What do you have to say in closing today?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think 2015 is going to be cool. Everything is really, really flowing, so I think it's going to be great. And I have a lot more energy this year, just as a warning.
Well, Tommy's going to be upset now. He's not going to know what to do.
I don't know if I'm going to play the inner child role all that well. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I think
I'll just have to balance it out as part of Tommy's other personality.
There you go. That's exactly what'll have to happen.
The welder. What is your responsibility there is what I want to know, as the welder. Keep things together.
Exactly.
It's just these goggles here. Makes me look like I'm arc welding.
I don't know if I would go that far. I don't think arc welding comes to my mind anyway. I don't know about anybody else. Anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Congratulations to our winners, Brett Campbell, Brittany Bexton, Ian, Andrea, James. Thank you, as always, for being here. Everybody in our audience, thank you as well. Apologize for the technical issues with Skype. You know, Skype is Skype. What are you going to do about that? In regards to our streaming, it is what it is, as Rick Brindell said earlier in the broadcast. When you got freezing rain, sleet, and snow, you never know what you're going to get. And it's winter after all, so we can't complain too much. We'll talk to you on this Wednesday. We've got a hit list coming up where we start things all over again. We're going to take the past Song of the Week winners from November and put them up against each other on this Wednesday's hit list. That's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss that. And then on Sunday, we'll be back with another edition of Music Scene Investigation. We hope you're around for that as well. Until then, we're going to say so long to everybody. We're going to play out with our Artist of the Year, once again, Miss Brittany Bexton. So thanks for being here, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Ian?
And I want to say a big thanks as well to everyone who's been watching, everyone's been tuning in, everyone who follows us on all our social media, YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. It's, you know, we're slowly building up a nice little community around us, and there's some great people out there. Patty, one of our new followers, Box of Crap, Pinky, and all the other guys, Martin and Danskin, who tune in on a regular basis. Thank you very much. It's great to have a bit of a live audience with us.
Absolutely it is. So here is Brittany Bexton once again, her track Free Fall, our Artist of the Year on Music Scene Investigation. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday on MSI Hit List. Until then, so long.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you next
peeled out the driveway. Gravel and sparks were flying like a light about to light a fuse. Sped off to the middle of nowhere with the thrill of getting somewhere. Finally stopped and we're moving faster, losing myself in you. Caught up in a rush, heart speeds up every time that we touch. So high, so alive, lost in the moment when you look at my free fall. We're tangled up in the afterglow.